Number 1. Pick your HHN 2018 nights very carefully. If you only take away one tip from this page, let it be this first warning, communicated to you in the most serious manner possible. Do not go to Halloween Horror Nights on the busy event dates in October, which are often referred to as peak nights. Here are the October busy dates so you can scratch them off your calendar. October 7th, 8th, 14th, 20th, 21st, 27th, and 28th. Why is this our most important tip? Simply put, on busy nights the popular haunted houses will have wait times as high as 3 hours, and even the so-so houses will have waits up to 2 hours. Can you imagine waiting 2 or 3 hours to walk through a haunted house that takes 2 or 3 minutes to see? Then exiting that house and getting straight into another 2 or 3 hour line? You don't want to imagine it, and you definitely don't want to experience it. Busy nights also mean the biggest crowds in the streets, and if you've heard anything about the HHN crowds, you've likely heard they drink a lot. Sometimes, that drinking leads to more rowdiness than the average guest will find entertaining. So, avoiding busy nights not only guarantees you'll spend considerably less time waiting in line, it also means you won't have to shrug it off when a group of drunk guests cut into your haunted house line and no one sees them do so. Number 2. Pick the right number of nights to visit. If you think this event is going to freak you out and you're not feeling it, so to speak, one night will be plenty. Just make sure you get there early so you can check out a lot of the grounds before the sun totally sets for the night. If you really like Halloween and horror movies, but your life doesn't necessarily revolve around them, then for a first-timer we recommend 2 nights. Keep in mind that if you visit when it's slower and follow our touring plan, you'll likely be able to see and do everything in just one night. But a huge appeal of Halloween Horror Nights is the people watching, and a new night means all new visitors getting scared out of their minds. Plus, since much of the HHN activity happens in the darkened streets of Universal Studios Florida, it's often easy to miss all the small details with just one night's tour around the park. If you are a hardcore Halloween and horror fan, and you basically spend the entire year planning for October 31st, then you will fall into an elite category of HHN fans who go as many nights as they can, 10 times, 15 times, or more. In this case, definitely plan on 3 nights at the very least, and also plan on buying a pass that includes multiple nights and checking out the VIP tour options. Number 3. Pack your wallet and start preparing now. You've probably seen this reminder on our pages before, but it's important, so here it is one more time. Halloween Horror Nights is a separately ticketed event. One way or another, you need to pay for admission. There are lots of deals and combos, which are explained in our HHN 2018 admission guide. For the purposes of this page, just be aware that purchasing admission to visit Universal Studios Florida or Islands of Adventure during the day does not get you into Horror Nights automatically. This is the opposite of other popular Universal annual events, such as Mardi Gras, which is included with regular park admission. Conversely, keep in mind that purchasing admission for HHN does not get you into the parks during the day. And if you plan on attending HHN, please buy your tickets in advance. There's no point in arriving at Universal Orlando, getting psyched for the night to start, then spending the first hour of the event waiting in the ticket line. Virtually anything you can buy on site you can also buy online, and tickets purchased online can be printed at home, so you'll be able to walk directly to the turnstiles. Number 4. Head east. In other words, don't buy tickets for Halloween Horror Nights in California. Universal Studios Hollywood hosts its own version of Horror Nights, and unwitting guests buy admission for the wrong coast all the time. Not only is this a headache because you have to buy new tickets, it's worse than you think, since the Hollywood and Orlando parks operate as completely separate entities, so you can't simply swap your California HHN ticket for a Florida one. Plus, West Coast tickets are, generally, less expensive than the East Coast's, as its event is smaller. This means you'll also be in for some sticker shock. You can learn more about Halloween Horror Nights in California on our sister site. Number 5. Face the truth. Halloween Horror Nights is scary, and the event is filled with a lot of guests who, for better or for worse, like to drink. Just as Universal states, Halloween Horror Nights is absolutely not appropriate for young children. Number 6. Wait until the midnight hour. There's still some hope for short lines. A lot of those early birds start getting tired and leave the park well before the event ends, so you'll start to see the wait times drop down the later it gets. This option is not as good as using HHN early admission, but it's better than planning on arriving at 8 p.m. and leaving by 11 p.m. Keep in mind that, on many days, Halloween Horror Nights is open until 2:00 a.m. Number 7. Fastest way to escape the horror. Bring your photo ID if you want to drink, and be prepared to be carded with every purchase, everywhere. Are you going with other guests who forgot their IDs, or who are you too young to drink? The quickest way to get kicked out of the park for good is to share a beer with someone who isn't supposed to have one. Universal has a large force of uniformed security, plainclothes security, and Orlando police all around Halloween Horror Nights, and this is the main illegal activity they're watching for. And don't bother trying to sneak alcohol in, or anything else you're not supposed to have. The security checkpoints are on the way up for HHN. Think airport-style security and scanning. Feeling feisty, anyway? Do keep in mind that Universal Orlando is private property, and, as such, the resort has the right to refuse entry to anyone for any reason it sees fit, barring discriminatory practices, of course. Once in a while, we hear a guest who's getting kicked out say something like, "You can't do this, I paid for admission." Oh, yes, they can, and you're not automatically entitled to a refund.